Hi everyone, I'm Stefan, and in this odd bonsai video I will be repotting my aloe plant to save it from what looks like root rot. I pruned this aloe arborescens plant for the first time back in January and made a video covering this operation. You can find the link to the video in the description down below. Since then, it has put out several new pops all around the base, starting from the same general area. Back in summer, I noticed that the top part seemed to be dying back and that the overall growth has slowed down considerably. Then I checked the soil and found that the organic matter was so compacted that it prevented proper drainage. So it was clear that the aloe plant was in urgent need of repotting. In order to get the aloe plant safely out of the pot, I started by working my way along the edge of the pot to loosen up the soil. Then I continued by gently squeezing all around the pot until the soil and root ball were loose enough to slide out from the pot. Here you can see the large drainage hole I had drilled on the bottom of the pot to provide good drainage. Unfortunately, the excess organic matter in the soil mix got compacted over time and prevented proper drainage. I used my root rake to remove all the soil from around the aloe roots. There were two reasons for doing this. One, to make sure there was no organic matter left stuck on the roots that could retain too much moisture around the roots and create the perfect environment for further root rot development. And second, to enable root inspection and the removal of any tissue affected by rot. After washing off the remaining soil, I started to cut off all the dead sections of the root and lower trunk. You can easily recognize plant tissue affected by rot by its dark color and mushy consistency. Don't be afraid to cut away as much of the root structure as needed, since it's important to remove all the dead roots to prevent further issues with root rot. Even if left without roots, aloe plants will root easily, and that's why they are so easy to propagate from pots of various sizes. I also decided to cut back that long root section to balance the whole root system. Upon a final inspection, I found that the base of the aloe stem required a bit more cleanup, so I went on and removed all the last bits of the tissue. I decided to plant the aloe in the same pot it was in previously, but first I had to cover the large drainage hole with some drainage screen. This time I used an inorganic mix containing perlite, vermiculite and pumice. After filling in most of the pot, I placed a small aloe plant on top and used some more soil to cover its roots. I then made sure that all the soil is securely tucked in around the roots to hold the plant in place until new roots start to develop. This was how the plant looked like right after potting. I did not water it right away since the roots already got wet while washing them, so I only resumed watering after letting the roots dry out for a few days. And here is my aloe arborescens plant at the end of November. It's larger and looking much happier than a few months ago. Its roots have clearly grown back since it seems to be firmly anchored in the soil. The top of the plant has died back, but I think that probably happened in response to how I previously pruned it. I'm not bothered by that for now since the dead tip is mostly covered by all the new leaves, so I'm just going to let the aloe plant grow freely for now. I still have to figure out how to prune it to make it look more like a tree rather than a bush, so if you have any tips on pruning aloe plants to get top ramification, please leave a comment in the section below. I hope my experience with saving this aloe from root rot is helpful for anyone having similar issues. Thanks for watching and see you in the next Odd Bonsai video.